Well, I just zipped off 7 lugs when I bought this in California. Look, it's rusted.
That global warming are beginning to
Al Gore, change those light bulbs. When I bought this in California, I noticed that one of the wheel lugs was busted off inside. So I just took off 7 of them. But I did notice that, can you see there? I did notice the wheel moved when I loosened it, so let's see what happens. Oh, look at that. Came right off.
Well, the old cliche, denial ain't just a river in Egypt, is not fully...
Denial ain't just a river in Egypt. Denial. Oh. I got that wheel off. That was pretty easy. I'm going to New York City, so I thought I'd change the tires. And my brake light's been on, so I think my brakes are worn out or something's wrong. Grease rust-proofed. Wish I had my own grease pump. I'd do everything myself.
What do you think has to come out of Copenhagen?
Let's see what the brakes look like.
As an investment and as an economic opportunity.
Let's see. Where I set the camera down. Need one of those tripods. I know you can only see the bottom of the drum. I know. Hold it back a little bit. It's raining, by the way. We had our snow, which I'll be posting, of course, way after the fact. What do you see?
Is really the single most important thing. And putting a price on CO2 emissions is the way to introduce a level of reality into the measuring of the choices that we make.
We're
pretending now that it's perfectly
We're
okay
pretending
to dump
now.
90 million tons of this stuff into the thin shell of atmosphere around our planet every
Pull off
single
the
day,
drum.
as if it's an open
Because I don't have a floater, I got a semi-floater.
The sooner we recognize the reality of the situation and start...
Don't think my emergency brake is on either. Oh yeah. I'll be here for a while. I'll put this sucker away. No rust. Found out why the drum won't come off. The friggin' half a lug that's stuck here. Duh. Of course it shouldn't be seized or anything, it's just busted. Where am I here? Al Gore. It's rusted. Nope. Strange. Someone tried to take the wheel off and the lug nut broke and they just put the wheel on anyways. Maybe they were tightening it when it broke. Who knows? Anyways, there it is. Now, set this camera back in a spot where you can see something. There we go. And we'll get back to it.
And the value of mitigating risk. In other words, climate policy is a little like
drums.
uncover its large and possible legal risks. That's the approach we should be taking with carbon dioxide. We want to put carbon dioxide that encourages consumers to conserve and producers to substitute. The carbon global Congress does not set prices. It sets a limit on the total amount of carbon to be emitted. Such a system is complex and
I'm going to turn this thing off. Who wants to watch me hammering on a drum? Boring. Be back. Alright, I'm saving you some steps here and some misery of watching my long videos. I've got the self-adjuster back in place, and now I'm going to reinstall the spring, but I think I'm going to do it with one hand, with my knee up against the drum. Oop, got it. Ding! That wasn't too hard. If your springs are rusty, if your backing plates are rusty, you can take the shoes off and lightly touch the grinder to the flats where the brake shoes contact the backing plate. But I'm not going to bother. What you do, once you've put everything back together, is you grab the shoes at the bottom. I can't show this to you, it's too dark there. See anything over there?
Be careful what you wish for.
Nope.
Commentator Paul Wilcott tells us about finding the perfect big Christmas tree. It's a story that you're not quite as expected. It's tomorrow morning during the 8 o'clock
How's that?
on North Country.
Yeah, you can see half of it. You just grab the bottoms, you slide it back and forth. You can feel where the shoes, see that little wear area here? That little squiggle? that wears a groove into the backing plate. When it comes time to change these brake shoes, I'll touch that lightly with a grinder and flatten it so the shoes don't catch on the backing plate and go click, 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 click. Just annoying. Not too dangerous. Oh, sorry for the low light. Drum is back on, and now I got the adjusting spoon, fork, screwdriver, call it what you want. I'm going to adjust the brakes through this little hole, and don't worry, spike punk, we're not going to lose control if we don't put back a little rubber plug like was shown in those pictures from when we were kids, car losing control because the little brake plug was missing. You can actually see through that slot to look at the brake shoe condition. Still, it's a good idea to take it off, check for leaks inside, axle seal leak, wheel cylinder leak. Sometimes the shoes are cracked, like happened to my Spider this summer. And the material came right off the backing plates. Whoop, that's it. It's rusted. I don't want to make them too tight.
Here today, the Japanese beer maker Sapporo is making
touch more.
Space barley. It's beer made.
It'll bring your brake pedal higher because the pedal doesn't have to push oil, fluid, brake oil. Oh, I can feel it getting tight.
We wanted to know what a connoisseur.
That's it right there.
Lisa Morrison is a beer blogger based in Portland, Oregon.
That's not too technical. Supposedly, when you go in reverse and you put the brakes on abruptly, it adjusts the shoes. I don't know. Might work, might not. So that's it for one side. I'll put the wheel back on. Not sure what wheels I'm going to use. Thanks for looking. Woo! Don't be scared. I'm back with the wheel off and the drum off. One of the wheel studs was mangled, and I tried to put a nut on it, a lug nut, and I probably mangled the lug nut. And I tried to rethread it with some thread files. That didn't work, and then I used a rethreading die. That didn't work, so make sure I have the right one. And, oh, I'm getting aggravated. It's drizzling on me. Could be worse, I suppose. I'm going to just whack it right out of the backing plate. Let's see if I get the camera holding it right. Dang, it's friggin' mangled now. Dang! Gonzo. 1 9/16 stud. Causing me grief. Yeah, got a burr on it. Now it's got a chunk missing. Alright, off to the flap, friendly local auto parts. Ford, Chevrolet, Dodge, ripped, torn, $10. Made in China. How much you want to bet? Made in China. Pre-shredded cabs. Flap. Friendly, local, auto parts junk. Junk. Wish it would focus up close. Mangled. Flap.